Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just recap about the formulas, whatever we discussed last classes. I mean, some derivations. Only we see the formulas, then we can discuss the problem easily. So first, now just 1 minute, we should a couple of minutes we spent to revise the formula. Then we come to the today discussion. Okay, now this is the formulas we discussed in the last class. I mean, maximum principal stress theory. It's based on maximum principal theory. The equations derived sigma 1 is equal to 16 by pi d cube mb plus square root of mb squared plus mt squared. In the square root, inside the square root, sorry, I mean mb plus mb square root of mb squared plus mt squared, that is nothing but equivalent bending moment. I mean, because we are going to now we are designing the shaft based on the three concepts. One is based on the strength, based on the rigidity, and ASME code approach. This is the three concepts we are going to introduce. We are using to design our shaft dimensions. Now, this is we discussed in the last class the derivations. Now, right? Just we see the formulas now. Now, this is equivalent bending moment, right? Based on the maximum principal stress theory we derived. And this is the based on the maximum shear stress theory. This is the torsional bending moment. I mean, for square root of mb square plus mt square, right? This is the permissible value of maximum principal stress theory. This is the SUT divided by SYT divided by FY is factor of safety. This is SSY, shear yield point divided by factor of safety. Now, that's what we discussed. Now, this is the based on the torsional rigidity, torsional moment from this governing equation, torsional governing equation m by j is equal to g theta by L. From that one. Hello? Yeah, tell me. I'm in the meeting. I will call me later, please. Okay, sure. Okay, t by j is equal to g theta by L. From these relations, we are able to find out the theta. Now the theta angular twist is going to be given. I mean, the angular twist we are going to be assigned as a limiting factor for the shaft. Then based on that, we are going to define the dimensions of the shaft, diameter of the shaft. We know the twisting moment. We know the length of the shaft. Then we are going to find out the diameter of the shaft. So now this is G is the material properties. Now, I mean, as per the ASME code, now, I mean, we are introducing the KB and the KT. KB is nothing but a combined shock and fatigue load factor applied to the bending moment. Similarly, KT is a shock and fatigue factor applied for the torsional moment when the shaft is subjected into torsional behavior. Okay. Now, this is the very important, I mean, the formulas for the discussing our dimensions of the shaft or designing the shaft dimensions. Now, I mean, in the last class we discussed this problem. Now, here, this is the problem. I mean, the shaft subjected to, I mean, the shaft connected with the two pulleys, but this is simply supported beam. Looks like the simply supported beam. Two pulleys. The shaft is supported by bearings A and D. This looks like simply supported beam. Here, inside the support, two pulleys are connected for the power transmission. Then we discussed based on this power transmission with respect to the pulleys. We discussed the dimensions of the shaft. Here, one pulley is subjected to vertical load. This pulley, the bigger pulley is subjected to vertical load. The smaller pulley is subjected to horizontal load. Hence, we consider the vertical plane. I mean, vertical plane means reaction calculation based on the vertical load. This is the bending moment calculation with respect to vertical load. This is the horizontal load reaction calculation with respect to horizontal load. This is the bending moment with respect to horizontal load. Finally, we are comparing. I mean, comparing means not comparing. Finally, we are finding the resultant bending moment because of two components are playing here. One is vertical bending moment, right? Another one is horizontal bending moment. Then we would like to, this is horizontal load based on horizontal plane. This is the bending moment have been found. This is the vertical load based on this bending moment have been found. Hence, we would like to find out the resultant bending moment. Hence, we are finding the each point based on this point and this point. We are finding the resultant bending moment. Now, based on this point and this point, we are finding the bending moment here. Sorry, based on this point, this point and this point, we are finding the resultant bending moment. Then finally, which bending moment is the maximum that can be considered for the shaft design? Now, bending here, this is the maximum bending moment. Now, I mean, based on this our calculation, this is the maximum bending moment. What is the torsal moment? Torsal moment is we very well known here already given. Now, torsal moment, we know, we already discussed the basics of the pulleys. P1 minus P2 into diameter of the pulley, right? Diameter of the pulley, big, maybe this pulley, I mean, this pulley here, this pulley diameter is given. What is the diameter of the pulley here? Uh, yeah, here, see here, 500 mm diameter. This is a 250 mm. Then 250. I mean, the torque is both the pulley same. Now, then you may take this pulley or smaller pulley for finding the torque twisting moment. Then both the pulley, the twisting moment is same. Hence, this horizontal line. Now, where is the maximum? Where which bending moment and twisting moment we have to consider? Now, this is the maximum resultant bending moment. This is the twisting moment. These two things we are going to finally consider our shaft design. Okay, that's what see here. Now, finally, we are going to consider that one. Now, see here, this bending moment and this resultant bending moment. This resultant bending moment. This twisting moment, MT, this is, I mean, resultant bending moment we are going to consider here for finding the, I mean, our dimensions of the diameter of the shaft. I mean, because here the tau max is given, then finally this is the resultant bending moment at a point C, at a point C. This is the point C, this is the point C. Okay. Now, based on that, we are saying that bending moment, maximum resultant bending moment is acting at point C. Now, twisting moment we know, then finally substitute this equation, we are going to get the diameter of the shaft. So up to this we discussed in the last class. Now today we move to the next interesting problem. Now the shaft is connected with the help of and the shaft is supported with the help of the bearings, bearing A and B. This is the bearing A and B, but the shaft here double overhanging beam. The shaft design, I mean, the total system looks like a double overhanging beam, right? Hence, here the smaller pulley is connected in the left hand side end, and the another vertical bigger pulley connected in the right end of the shaft. Right end of the shaft. Now see here the layout of the shaft carrying the pulleys, two pulleys, 1 and 2. This is the pulley 1. This is the pulley 2. Okay, and supported on two bearings A and B. This is the bearing A. This is the bearing B. Okay. Sorry. This is the bearing B here. Okay. Now the shaft transmit this 7 kilowatt power at the speed is 360 RPM. The speed is 360 RPM. The speed is 360 RPM from the pulley 1 to pulley 1 to 2. I means that the pulley is connected to the input power. Pulley 2 is we are using to transmit the power to somewhere else. Somewhere means the other mechanism going to be connected in the pulley 2. Now the dimensions of the pulley given. Now the smaller pulley 1 dimension is 250 mm and diameter of the pulley 1 is 250 mm and diameter of the pulley is 500 mm. Now the mass of the pulley also given. Now we have to consider mass of the pulley also in this problem. The pulley one is mass is self weight 10 kg. Pulley 2 mass is 30 kg. Okay, 30 kg. I mean, the belt tension vertically downward and the ratio of the belt tensions are given. Now, the belt tensions, both the case, pulley 1 and pulley 2 case are 2.5. 2.5 means nothing but P1 by P2 is equal to 2.5 and P3 by P4. I mean, how I am saying P1, P2, P3 like that? Here, see here, this is the pulley 1 going to be connected here. This is the tension tight side and slack side P1, P2. The pulley, bigger pulley is here, tight side and slack side P3 and P4 respectively. Now see here, the shaft is made of plain carbon steel. I mean, yield strength is given 380 Newton per mm square and factor of safety Fs is given 3. Estimate the suitable diameter of the shaft. If the permissible angle of twist is 0.5 degree per meter length of the shaft, okay, calculate the shaft diameter basis on the torsional rigidity. Here the shear modulus of the shaft is given, I mean 79.3 gigapascal or 79.3 I mean 79,300 Newton per mm square. Okay, these are the parameters are given. Now we move to the problem. First to see the problem. I mean, first see the given data. Already we discussed given data. Now directly see here. I mean, this is a K is given. I mean, sorry, K power. Sorry, power is given 7.5 kilowatt, and RPM is given. RPM is given. RPM is given 360 RPM. Now SOIT is given. Yield strength. Yield strength is given. Now factor of safety is given. Now belt drive tension is given. Tension ratio is given. I mean 2.5. Now I mean theta is given. Angle of twist 0.5 degree per meter length given. Now first we find out the permissible stress value. Now permissible stress value tau is equal to SY. I mean shear yield divided by factor of safety. Shear yield is nothing but 0.5 times of SYT divided by Fs. Then SYT is given. Then we are able to find out this is the tau. Now this is a permissible value, permissible stress value. Now we come to the torsion moment. Now what is the torsion moment? We have to find out. Power is given. Then power is given. What is the torsion moment? 2 pi nt. Nt is nothing but torsional moment. I am considering here mt divided by 60. Now in terms of Newton mm, I am multiplying 10 power 6. In terms of Newton mm, if you put a 10 power 3, it will be a kilowatt. I mean, if you put a 10 power 3, it will be a Newton meter. Okay. Now I would like to find out in terms of Newton millimeter, hence 60 into 10 power 6. Now from these relations, we are able to find out what is the torsional moment. This relation. From these relations, we are able to find out torsional moment. Now the torsional moment mt is equal to Newton. I mean 198.943.668 Newton millimeter. Now this is a torsion moment. Torsion moment is both the pulleys are same, because torsion moment both pulleys are same. That's what. Just see here, this is a torsion moment. I mean here now pulley torsion moment at a point, I mean the first pulley same, the pulley second bigger pulley also same. I mean the bearings also subjected to equal torsion moment. Now I mean anyway we are not going to discuss the bearings now. Just keep in mind these are the information very important when we are going to discuss the bearings. So you can easily understand how the bearing is subjected to torsion load, how the bearing is subjected to, I mean, vertical load. Those things we will consider later. That's what here. How much load? Now we go for the here both the pulleys are subjected into vertical load. Vertical load. Now see here how much load is subject. How much load? Now what is this twisting moment? Twisting moment we already know the formula. For pulley 1 P1 minus P2 into R. R is nothing but here 125 mm. 125 m is equal to mt. From this relation, we are able to find out from this relation, we have found P1 minus P2 is equal to 1591.55 Newton. I mean, already the problem given that slack side, tension side and slack side tension ratio is given 2.5. Then substitute, there is solve these two equations A and B. We are going to obtain tension P1 and P2, slack side and tight side tension, we are able to find out from these two equations. Okay, now this is the pulley 1 tight side tension, this is the pulley 2 slack side, pulley 1 slack side tension, pulley 1 slack side tension. Now what is now in this problem we have to consider the pulley weight also, self weight of the pulley also we have to consider. Already given in the problem 10 kg and 10 kg and 20 kg. This is the pulley weight. Pulley 1 is 10 kg, pulley 2 is 30 kg. This also to be considered. Hence, what is the total vertical load acting in the pulley 1? Pulley total vertical load acting in the pulley 1 is nothing but a P1 plus P2 plus W1. Yeah, already given here. This is P1 plus P2 plus W1. This is the total vertical load acting in the pulley 1. Now see here, this is a total vertical load acting in the pulley 1. This one. This is the pulley 1 with total vertical load acting here. Okay. Now, I would like to come to the first step by step understand. First, we have to find out how much load is acting in the pulley. Then only we able to find out the reaction. We can go for the reaction calculation. Now pulley 2. Anyway, now here pulley 2 also similar way you can find out this total vertical load. This is a 2151.11 Newton. See here, now pulley 2. Now I come to later. This is a bending moment calculation. I come to later. Pulley 2 is nothing but P3 minus P4 into 250. This is the 250 mm radius, right? Now the torque is same. The twisting moment is same. In both the cases, the twisting moment is same. Both the pulley twisting moment is same. Torque is same. Hence MB at A. Now find out this is from pulley 2. Now P3 minus P4, finally we are finding like this. P3 minus P4 is equal to 795.77 Newton. Now the ratio is given in the pulley 2, slack side, 10 side ratio is given, then 2.5. Now solve these two equations, we are going to get what is the P3 and P4 values we are going to get. Now P3, P4, once we know that, then here also we have to consider the pulley weight 30 kg, downward direction, vertical direction. Then now P3 plus P4 plus W2, finally we are getting 2151.11 Newton. That's what we are we are considering here 2151.11 Newton. But horizontal vertical load is acting on the pulley 2. Pulley 2 on the shaft at the location of the pulley 2. Now we go for the reaction calculation. Now here it may not be required reaction calculation because to save our time, because this is a overhanging beam. For example, I would like to find out the bending moment. Then both loads and vertical load. Then what is the bending moment? This distance we know it's given 250 mm. Then 250 mm into, because at the free end bending moment 0. Then bending moment is 0 at the free end. What is the bending moment here? This is the distance we know. This is the distance we know, 250 mm. Then 250 mm into this load, it will give you the bending moment acting at this point A. At this point A, we know, right? Now bending moment is acting at this point A. We can find it. We have found it. Now similarly, we come to the right hand side end. This distance also given 250 mm, right? Then 250 into 251 going to give the bending moment. Free end is 0 bending moment. At the support, this distance 250 into 2151.11 going to give the bending moment. Maybe may not be required reaction calculation here. Okay, even if you take reaction calculations, you can find out the same bending moment value. Okay, now in these two places, in this bearing A and bearing B, where it is bending moment is maximum. I mean, point here, the bending moment is here is maximum. Now, here no need resultant bending moment, because here horizontal load is not acting in the bearing, in the shop, in the pulley. Hence, only directly we can consider which is the maximum bending moment, that can be considered for the shaft design. Now, this is the maximum bending moment. Now, task moment we have found it. Now go for the, I mean, shaft design. Okay, task moment we know. Now this is the task moment. This is the maximum bending moment. These two values we are going to consider. These two values we are going to consider for designing our shaft diameter. Now come to this. I mean, tau. Okay, this already I told you that. Now come to this. I mean, here in the problem already given, CSS, maximum CSS also already given. Maximum CSS is given. Yes, so based on the maximum CSS, we are going to find out the shaft diameter. So, okay, now, yeah. Now see here, tau max 63.6, 63.33. This is the bending moment, maximum bending moment, where we consider this one. And this is a torsion moment we are considering for finding the diameter of the shaft. I mean, the first one is based on the strength basis. Now, actually, in the problem, they already also asked that based on the rigidity based, because they have given in the problem angular twist. Angular twist they have given, I mean, 0.5, I think, radians they have given. From that, we have to find out this shaft diameter with respect to torsional rigidity. Then finally, now, I mean, D is equal to 41.37. This is nothing but 41 mm. This is nothing but 43 mm. So this is the designed value. This is the, I mean, permissible value for the shaft design, diameter of the shaft. Okay, now this is the, I mean, different second different problem. This is the third problem. Now, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Shall we move to next problem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the reply. Okay, a line shaft supporting pulleys A and B. A line shaft supporting pulleys A and B. Sorry. Okay, pulley A, pulley B. Now, here, power supplied to the shaft by means of the vertical belt in pulley A, where the power supply, input power is supplied at pulley A here only. Sorry, at pulley A here only. Okay, now pulley A, I mean, which is transmitted to the pulley B carrying the horizontal belt. Now, here a horizontal belt. The pulley B is connected to horizontal power transmission. Horizontal power transmission. Now, the ratio of the belt tensions on and tight, I mean, on tight and slack sides are 3:1. 3. P1 by P2 is equal to 3. The limiting value of tension 2.7 kilonewton. I mean, the limit tension. Limiting value means maximum tension. Very important. The shaft is made of plain carbon steel, 40 Ci, right? Now, I mean, ultimate strength is 60,650 Newton per mm square. Now, I mean, yield strength 380 Newton per mm square. The pulleys are keyed to the shaft. Now, pulley is keyed to the shaft, very important. The pulley connected in the shaft with the help of the key, very important. Now, okay, now we are going to use the ASME code approach for define the dimensions of the shaft. Now, what is the ASME code? ASME, based on ASME approach, the shock factor and fatigue factor, I mean, KB and KT values are given 1.5 and 1. Okay, now we move to the problem. See here, I mean, these are the given data, KB given, KT given. Okay, this is SUT, SYT given. Now, I mean, this is the maximum tension given. Now, I mean, whenever we are going for ASME code approach, the third method for design the shaft dimension, then we have to use this concept, because already in the theory we have been studied. I mean, 0.3 times SYT, 0.18 times SUT, then SYT, 0.3 times of SYT, 0.3 times. Some students may be unable to see this. I write it here because this small letter. 0.3 times SYT, 0.18 times SUT. In this, which one is small value that can be considered for the design? I mean, now which one is small value? 114 is small value that can be considered. But one more condition in the ASME code approach we discussed, the keyed, the shaft, the pulley, both pulleys are connected on the shaft with the help of the key. Hence, the key slot may be provided on this shaft and pulleys. Hence, we are using 75%. I mean, it will be again reduced to 25% of the 25% of the strength. Hence, we are multiplying again the value tau max going to be 0.75 into 114. Okay, very important. You may expect this type of questions in the objective problems, objective exam. Okay. Now the torsal moment. Now come to the torsal moment. Now what is the torsal moment? Both the pulleys are subjected into same torque. Now P1 minus, this is the left hand side pulley, P1 minus P2 is equal to into diameter of the pulley A, this pulley I am telling now. Okay. This is right hand side of the shaft. Here pulley B, both are subjected to same torque. Same torque here. Okay. Now P1 minus P2 is equal to this. Finally, we are obtaining this relation. Now the ratio is given. Already the ratio is given. P1 by P2 is equal to 3. Now P3 by P4 is equal to 3. Ratio given. The tension and the slack side ratio is given in the problem. Hence, this is the equation from there. Now substitute these values in this values P1, P2, P4 value in this equation A. Finally, we are going to get this. P1 is equal to 1.8 times of P3. Okay. Now go for this. P1 is given 2800 and 2700 Newton. Then P2 we are able to find out 900 Newton equal to 900 Newton, because P1 by P2 is equal to 3. Then P2 is equal to 900 Newton. Now we know P1, P2, right? Then P3 you can find out. Now P3, what is the P3? Here P3 is equal to like this. P1 by 1.8. Finally, we are getting P3 value. I mean, P3 value is nothing but 1500 Newton. That is a tight side of the pulley 2. This is a tight side of this pulley 2. Tight side of this pulley 2. Okay. Now P4 is slack side of the pulley 2. I mean bigger pulley, not to pulley 2, bigger pulley. Hence P3, P1, P2, P3 we know now. Now we can go for the reaction calculation. But in this case, first we are considering the vertical plane, because in the problem is given the pulley, I mean the vertical belt, the pulley A subjected to vertical belt and pulley subjected to horizontal belt. It defines that the load is acting in horizontal direction in the pulley 2 or in pulley B. Okay. This vertical belt defines that the load is acting vertical direction in the pulley 1. Hence, now I am introducing this. Now, we know this P1 here, how much load is acting, we know. I mean, what is the maximum load here? P1 we know 2700, 2700. P2 we know 900. Then total load is acting in this point at the point of A on the shaft is 3600 Newton. All right. Now, I mean, we know the distance. Then go for the reaction calculation. Then reaction calculation. This is a support 1. This is support 2. then you able to find out the reaction force at the support S1, at the support S2. The support is means that here bearings. Okay, 1800 Newton and 1800 Newton. Now come for the bending moment calculation. This is only it looks like center load is acting. Then very simple, right? I mean, you can consider what is this? What is this? What is the bending moment? I mean, here 1800 into 450 mm. Then finally 810. Sorry. Yeah. 81000. This is the bending moment acting at point B. At point A. Sorry, this is at point A. Okay. Now, very simple. This is a bending moment and shear force calculation. Very, very simple. Now come to the horizontal load. What is the horizontal load is acting here? Horizontal load we already found. P3 plus P4. P3 plus P4 is going to be 1500, right? Plus 500, then 2000 Newton. 2000 Newton, where it is acting? At this near to the pulley 2. At the pulley 2. Sorry, at the not near. At the pulley 2 is 2000 Newton is acting. Now go for the reaction calculation. Reaction calculation, just I write it here. Now, I mean here, point A. Where is it sitting? This is support 1. This is support 2. Find the reaction force. Now, 2000, right? With respect to S1. Okay, 2000 into 1.15. The distance is 450 mm, 450 mm, 250 mm, then some total summation 1.15 meter. Now is equal to S2 into, right? Sorry, here I have done, okay, correct only. S2, how much distance S2 is sitting? 0.9 meter. Correct only. Now find S2 is equal to 2556 Newton. Okay. Now similarly, if you know that this is vertical load. Now support to 2 also going to vertical load or downward load. I mean upward force is equal to downward force. That is summation of upward force is equal to downward force for equilibrium condition. Hence, this is going to be a downward force. Hence, support to 2 is 556 Newton. Okay. Now go for the calculations, bending moment calculations. Now see here. This is a load. This is a point A. Sorry. This is a for pulley A is sitting. Now 556 into 450 mm. What is the bending moment at this point A? 556 into 450 mm, because in downward direction, right? Hence, now this is the bending moment acting at the point A. Now you can take bending moment at support bending moment at this point. Bending moment at this point. What is bending moment? Now, I mean, I can take 2000 into 250 because now this is the looks like a single overhanging beam. Right side overhanging beam. Left side is no overhanging. Hence 2000 into 250. This distance I am considering for finding the bending moment, how much bending moment is acting here. Then finally we have found that bending moment is here 500 K Newton millimeter. Okay. Now we know the bending moment at where is the maximum resultant bending moment. Where we know here horizontal load is given, vertical load is given. Then we have to go for resultant bending moment. This point we know this. Point A. Now where is the maximum? Where is the maximum bending moment? Now see here, the bending moment A is at the resultant bending moment. This is the maximum bending moment. This is the maximum bending moment at point A. At the point A is the maximum resultant bending moment. Okay. Now square root of this 810K whole square plus 250K whole square, then whole square root. Finally we are finding this, that place is maximum bending moment. That is called resultant bending moment. Okay. Now come to the We know already twisting moment. We already discussed the twisting moment here. What is a twisting moment? You may consider, I'm considering P1 minus P2 into the first pulley. First pulley. Now P1 minus P2 into 250 by 2. Then this is our twisting moment. But if you take pulley 2, pulley B, the twisting moment also same. Hence, this is our twisting moment. I mean, if you draw the diagram here, this twisting moment diagram is like this. Okay, like this. Now, use this. I mean, tau max is given. Now, tau max we have found 85.5 Newton per mm square. Use this, the relations. Finally, we are going to find out the diameter of the shaft. Okay, do you have any doubt, please? Yes, I'll
No,
move
sir.
to next.
No, sir.
I'm moving to. I move to the next problem. Okay, now the layout of an intermediate shaft of a gearbox supporting two spur gears B and gears C here. Now each problem we are discussing different each problem we are discussing, each problem now in different types. Earlier we used simply supported beam, later we used double overhanging beam, then later we used single overhanging beam, but vertical load, horizontal load. So there are each problem in different types. Okay, now here two gears are connected. This is the support one. This is support two. This is support means nothing but bearing. Now the support is mounted in two bearings A and D. The pitch circle diameter of the gears B and C are given. Now this is pitch circle diameter. Now this is 900 mm. This is 600 mm. Pitch circle diameter is given 900 mm, 600 mm like that. Now here SUT ultimate tensile strength and yield strength are given. Now 770 Newton per mm squared and 580 Newton per mm. 770 Newton per mm squared and 580 Newton per mm squared. Now here the factors KB and KT given. Suppose the factors KB and KT given, not mentioned ASME code, you have to follow ASME code. Some books they didn't give ASME, they didn't mention ASME code, but KT and KB given. Now determine the shaft diameter as per the ASME code. Assume that gears are connected shaft with help of the keys. Okay, now first to find out the tau max. 0.3 UT SUT, 0.18 SUT, which is minimum value we have to consider. Now here we are using keys, then again multiplied by 0.75. This is our permissible shear stress value. Based on this only we are going to design our shaft diameter. Okay. Now come to this bending and toss moment calculation. Now, in this problem, I would like to tell you one thing here. When we are going to discuss these gears, bearings in separate topic, but here they have given directly vertical load and tangential load directly given in the problem. See here, this is the vertical load, this is the tangential load on the first gear. Now see the gear 2, see gear 2 where this gear C is located on the shaft. Okay, at the point C, this is vertical load and radial loads are given. Hence, now I am going to consider directly here. Now, see here the vertical load. How much load is acting here? The vertical load. First vertical plane. Now I am considering the Now first I am considering the vertical plane. What is the vertical load? 1600 Newton is acting here. Now 1600 is acting. Now what is the vertical load acting the gear? Small gear. What is the vertical load acting here in the small gear? 6631.5 is the vertical load in upward direction. Here upward direction is acting here. In the first gear downward direction. Now we know the load force, how much force is acting at the point B and C of the shop. Then we go for the reaction calculation. What is the reaction force acting at the support A? Support means that bearing. What is the reaction force acting at support D? The reaction force at D. Now, because first we have to find out this, how much load is acting based on our power transmission from the bell drive or gear drive. Okay, now once we know this, find out, then we know this, first we know these two components. Now vertical load on the gear, bigger gear, vertical load on the smaller gear. Once we know that, then we go for the reaction calculation. Find the reaction calculation at both support S1, S2 bearing, where the bearings A and D are located. Okay. Now, then go for the bending moment calculation at the free and zero. Now, bending moment calculation. Now, with respect to vertical load, this bending moment at C. This is the bending moment at B. This bending moment at C. Now, the bending moment at D is zero again. Or similarly, you take horizontal load. Horizontal load is given here 4,421 Newton. And see here in the gear 2, where the gear C is located at the point C located. Given here 2,413 Newton given load, then upward direction. Then go for the reaction calculation. You able to find out this, how much reaction force acting at bearing S1, how much reaction force acting at bearing S2. Now, if once you have found it, then go for the bending moment calculation. Bending moment calculation at each location, at each point. Then here, see here. Now we know the bending moment. Now here we know the bending moment here. These 2 points we know the bending moment. Find the maximum bending moment. Okay, because this is with respect to horizontal plane, this is with respect to vertical plane. We have to go for the resultant bending moment at a point B, at a point C. Now, this resultant bending moment at a point B is at a point B is like this. Then at a point C, which one is the maximum bending moment that will be considered for our design. Okay, see here the maximum bending moment at the C, the resultant bending moment at C is maximum. Hence, that can be considered for our design purpose. Now, what is the maximum bending moment? This is the maximum resultant bending moment at point C. Now, this is considered for our design the shop. Now, as per the ASME code, we have to introduce KB and KT values inside the square root. Then finally, we are going to find out the diameter of the shaft is 68.59 mm. Okay, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm moving to next problem. We try to complete the problem. Please cooperate. I think.
Sir, time up. We have another one.
Time up,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I stop it here. Tomorrow we slowly increase the speed, and this time today class I came little late, 10 minutes late because of. Actually, I came here at right time, but network problem. I had some network problem. So those things will be corrected in the next class. Okay, so I stop it here. There is 2 more problems are there. I will share you video. I don't know whether LM is ready or not. Whatever we discussed last 3 classes video and this class video also, I will share you through mail. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. Thank you. We will meet tomorrow class. I come to this. Okay. Oh, 73 are there. Okay, I take attendance, then you can leave, please. Okay. 73, na? Yeah, please. Roll number 1. Roll number 1. 2.
Present, sir.